lights out at Television Centre for news. The final hour of broadcasting from here as the show goes on at our new home at Broadcasting House from 1 o'clock. Now, it is the last ever BBC News Channel programme to be broadcast from here, live from Television Centre. It will happen in just over half an hour.
Then, from 1 o'clock this afternoon, all national BBC television news will be based at the BBC's new headquarters, Broadcasting House, in central London. Television Centre's iconic building made Wood Lane famous and was sold to developers last year.
Well, our entertainment correspondent Lise Mazimba has been outside Television Centre throughout the morning.
Television news has been coming from here since 1969, and of course since the advent in the late 1990s of the BBC News Channel, or News 24 as it was known then. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, it's been pumping news out to people across the country. So at 1 o'clock, when those studios are finally for dark here, it'll be the first time that's really happened in a very, very long time indeed. Many, many happy memories, of course, for the audience of what BBC News has been doing over the past few years. Of course, there also have been times when BBC News itself has been making the news. About 50 yards from where I'm standing over there, that's where there was an explosion by a car bomb outside the BBC News Centre. People remember in 1988 a group of women invading the news studio where Nicholas Witchell and Sue Lawley were presenting. And of course, probably most memorably of all, 1984, Michael Burke's news reports from Ethiopia in Africa. Those were the trigger for Band Aid, followed by Live Aid. So BBC News at the heart of those Reithian principles to inform the audience, something that's been happening here since 1969, and of course a crucial and central part of what the BBC sets out to do.
Lise Mazimba there.
That was Lisa. Half an hour to go before we shut things down here.
I'm feeling a little sentimental, just a little.
Just a bit. It'll be difficult.
No longer walking these corridors at 6 o'clock in the morning alone. A whole new corridor
Enough about my
to
private life. We'll be bringing you, of course, the last bit of news just before 1 o'clock, before we hand over to Broadcasting House and our colleagues who've moved over there to a rather smart, swanky new studio, which you'll get your first eye on in half an hour's time. Just want to bring you some breaking news just coming in from James Landale, our Deputy Political Editor. After 53 years of service, the BBC's iconic Television Centre in West London is now broadcasting its final ever television news programme. In just under half an hour, the BBC News Channel and network news bulletins will start to come from brand new studios in central London.
Sport now, and for a full roundup from the BBC Sports Centre, here's Damien. Here we are now in the last few minutes that the BBC News Channel will be broadcast from here at the iconic Television Centre.
From 1 o'clock this afternoon, all national BBC television news will be based at the BBC's new headquarters, Broadcasting House, in central London. Television Centre's building, shaped in the design of a question mark, was sold to developers last year.
Well, the broadcaster Esther Ranson spoke to us from the stage door of Television Centre, and she shared her memories of the building with us.
I first started working here in 1966, before you were born or thought of. I was up on the 6th floor, I was a clerk, and I worked my way to researcher. We made satire programmes from here, Saturday night, everything was happening here. And then gradually, as life went on, That's Life came from here. I have danced for Strictly here. I've done a consumer slot for BBC Breakfast News from here. I've worked on the election programme from here. I cannot believe that this iconic building, I know it's a cliche, but you know, a building which is so recognisable around the world and which is so associated with fun and important information, and if you want to know who your next government is, you tune in here, and David Dimbleby is... In fact, David Dimbleby, whom I met the other day, has no idea where he's going to be next time round. In fact, he thinks nobody knows where the election is coming from. So it's all a bit of a shame. Children in Need from here. That wonderful image, you know, of everything happening, the crowds coming in, people waiting outside. And do you know the funny thing about this place? Even now, every 10 minutes or so, there's a group of tourists who come through, fascinated by the magic of this building, being told about the two Ronnies and AbFab and all these other things. And now what?
Now what?
Now what? It is a sad day for many people who've worked here for many years.
No No more getting lost, though.
You got lost?
I spent a whole afternoon lost in the basement of Television Centre. As one of those work experience, I think it's one of those being sent off for a long wait or something, perhaps. But terrified to go back, having not even found the place I was headed for.
It's fairly formidable. For some of us, of course, we remember
enormous.
Blue Peter, we think of Valerie Singleton.
And the first day, don't you remember your first day at Television Centre?
I do. I found the studio here and I've been lost ever since. We'll be back in just a moment. But first, let's catch up with the weather. It's an important week for weather. Stav, what's going on?
Thanks, Simon and Sophie. Well, I must say it's been an absolute privilege for me to be the last person to present the final weather broadcast from Television Centre. Louise Lear, my colleague, will have the new weather from the new broadcasting house, so I hope you can join her. See you later.
Stav, thank you very much indeed. Do stay with us. In a moment we will be crossing to our new home at Broadcasting House to join Sophie Rayworth for the BBC News at 1. So, much excitement here about the move, some sadness too. After nearly 45 years of broadcasting from Television Centre, BBC News is saying goodbye to this historic building.
Well, once the home of programmes many of us grew up with. Blue Peter, Doctor Who, Top of the Pops, Monty Python's Flying Circus, and of course Strictly Come Dancing, to name just a few. This is the last news broadcast from the building we know here as TVC.
Oh, it's quite moving. As we prepare for a brand new start at Broadcasting House from Television Centre here in London. Goodbye.